Okay. Welcome once again to Flow and Restore, where we do a little bit of flowing and a little bit of restoring. I'm really excited to have everyone here with me this afternoon. So welcome Janetta and Sherry and Gail, Marie, nice to have you back. And Laura, you're really turning into a consistent practitioner. So it's fantastic to see you here again. You're welcome. We're going to go ahead and just start in a comfortable seat. It seems like a pranayama practice is a great way to kind of ground the body and the mind. So in a position that feels comfortable to you, and that might even be sitting on a block or sitting on the heels, your choice, but we'll just start to draw that attention inward. And as you draw the attention inward, you might start to notice the breath. Recognizing any unnecessary tension that's held within the jaw, the neck, or the shoulders, and just letting it go. And as we move into this new year, I spoke about it last night and I'll speak about it again. My intention is to do less doing and more being. So I look at this yoga class as not necessarily a check off my to-do list, but an experience. And I hope each of us can really be in this experience that's offered to you this evening and allow your yoga practice to be there in any way that it needs to support you. And we'll begin to deepen the breath. If you find that the mind begins to wander, bring your attention back to the breath. Let it be your one-pointed focus for this next minute. And in this comfortable seat, begin to create some cat-cow. So on the inhale, let the chest rise. And on the exhale, round the spine. Feel the lower back, middle back, and upper back round. Full breath in. You bring the chest forward and up. And a full breath out as you round. At your own pace, slow and steady, full breaths in, full breaths out. And even notice how you're using your chin. Does it feel good to extend and lift? And when you round, you tuck your chin in towards your chest and get a stretch through the back of the neck. Let's come back to that nice neutral center. Bring the hands behind you. The feet will come out in front of you. Just start to sway your knees from side to side. Create some space between the feet and you'll get a little bit more opening through the hip flexors. That's it. And the next time the knees come over to the right, just take that deer pose. So that left thigh goes to the bottom of the right foot as you bring the forearms down to the floor. Let that same Ujjayi breath flow in and out. And as you press yourself up onto your hands, we'll take it to the opposite side. So allow the legs to windshield wipe over, those forearms come down to the floor. That right sit bone will be lifted up off the floor. Keep drawing the chest forward. There's a nice stretch that happens. Lengthen through the back of the neck. And as you slowly come all the way up, one more stretch before we start to flow the body. Let's bring the bottoms of the feet together, heels and feet. Now you might bring the heels in closer to the pubic bone or a little bit farther away, just depending on what kind of stretch you'd like to get. Inhale, lengthen, and then the exhale, forward fold over your feet. Try to draw the chest forward so we're getting a lot of length and stretch through the lower back and middle back. And let's rise up from here. Pull both knees in towards the chest. Maybe the feet even lift up off the floor just a little bit. Ooh, make circles with the feet. It's always fun to balance, isn't it? There we go. Make circles with the other way. And cross the ankles. Come forward into tabletop pose. Knees on the floor, shoulders over the wrists. Let's go ahead and extend that right leg back. Now you might flex the foot or point the toes. The choice is yours. Extend that left arm forward, spinal balancing. Now lift the right leg a little bit higher, but try to lift from the inner thigh. Press away from the floor so we're not sinking into our joints and tendons. And hold it here as you lengthen, extend, and breathe. A lot of movement doesn't have to happen to create change. Sometimes it's just being present and mindful of how we are being at this moment.
The most important thing is self-remembering.
Very nice. Now bring that right foot out to the side. This is called awkward airplane. Lower that right foot down, walk the hands in, rise up, gate pose. Right hand to the right thigh or shin, left arm reaches up and over. Now take that right hand and take the right finger and the thumb around the left wrist and just stretch. Bring the gaze up towards the sky. Breathe into that left side body. Nice. From here, release that left hand down to the left. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. So this is a modified side plank pose. Keep rooting down through the outside edge of that right foot and take the right arm up and over. You're going to get a nice stretch to that right hip. We like the moaning and groaning. Totally okay. And we'll just sweep that right hand down onto the mat. Left hand meets it. Right knee meets the left knee. Opposite side. So let's reach that left leg back. Get that into place. Notice the leg muscles are engaged. Right arm reaches forward. Now press away from the floor. Feel yourself kind of almost grow taller. How are you being? Letting go of being judgmental and celebrating what you can do at this very moment in time. Couple more breaths here. It's okay to modify. It's okay to give yourself that level of support needed. Let's take an awkward airplane. Reach that left foot out. Arm reaches up. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Left foot down. Walk the hands in. We'll take a gate pose. Now you're going to want to walk that left heel a little bit farther forward so it's in line with the right knee. Left hand down. Right arm reaches up and over.
Always at every moment be aware of what you're doing.
And if you feel nice and stable here, take that left hand, the finger and the thumb, and just wrap it around the wrist and extend.
Watch yourself.
Release that right hand down. Take that modified side plank pose. You can use the mirror as a tool. Is your right shoulder over your right wrist?
And relax.
Yes. Now bring your gaze up to your left thumb if it feels comfortable.
You have to let it happen.
And then reach that left arm up and over. Keep rotating that right chest bone forward so we're not collapsing into the floor.
To let yourself wake up.
And we'll sweep that left hand down. Right hand meets the left. We'll come back into that tabletop pose. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Oh, that feels good. Oh,
Yoga.
yes. You're doing great, Marie. Make some movements. It's all good. No expectations.
You can be concentrated.
So go ahead and just pump those heels, walk that dog. Let every action feel good.
Become
And we'll start by lifting that right leg up nice and high. Bend the right leg. So you're pointing your right knee up towards the sky. You can also do this with the left knee on the ground and make figure eights. Around and around.
You have to let yourself wake up. Become liberated.
And then reach that right leg up nice and high. Step that right foot forward to the top of the mat. Lower the left knee down to the floor. Rise up, Anjani Asana. So with the hands to thigh, arms reach up towards the sky when you feel good. Add a back bend here. Find your cobra or your up dog in the upper body.
You have to let it happen.
Come forward with hands to heart center. Let's twist to the right.
You have to let yourself wake up.
Keep allowing that right knee to go towards the baby toe. If you press the arm against the leg and the leg against the arm, it'll nicely open up the chest. Nice. Now reach the arms back up towards the sky. Full breath in. Exhale. Bring the hands down to the floor. Straighten the right leg. Draw the toes up towards you. You'll have to shimmy that right foot forward. This is a great prop to use blocks. Making the floor a little bit taller is always a nice level of support. Keep drawing the chest forward. Not so much the chin, but the chest, the collarbone. And we'll take the hands over to the right as you drop the right pinky toe to the right. Ooh, yeah. This is for you, Marie. Coming from the heart. That's it. And maybe the pinky toe touches the floor, maybe it doesn't, but it goes in that direction. You can feel it in your IT band, inner thigh. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Keep that pranayama practice flowing. And we'll walk those hands back to the center. Go ahead and bend back into that right leg. We'll step back, downward facing dog. Before we go to side number 2, let's drop both knees down to the floor. Modification here is to bring the knees on top of a block. You're going to curl the toes under for fire toes. Yes. Oh, no. There we go. So with the toes curled under, nice, let's reach that right arm up towards the sky. Bring the right hand behind you. Left arm reaches. Gomukh Asana arms. That's it. In through the nose and out through the nose. Helps self-regulate the body by just using the breath. And let's rotate. So left arm goes up and behind the back. Right arm meets it. Yes, is it? Yeah. Oh, because all is well. Great. We have just a couple more breaths here. Just think we get to stretch out our feet right after this. Nice. And we'll release the arms. If you have a block, you'll remove the block. Place the tops of the feet on the mat. You can go ahead and pat them out. That would feel good. I'm also going to offer sitting back onto the heels and just lifting the knees up. Whether you do it one at a time or both at the same time. Oh, yes. Let's see how high you can get those knees, Marie. Uh-huh. Nicely done. Let's come forward, back into our downward facing dog, side number 2. I can feel the heat created in my toes. Left leg lifts up. We're going to bend that leg so the knee points up towards the sky. Make circles with that knee. I want you to think about making big circles. And then we'll step that left foot through to the top of the mat. Lower the right knee down to the floor. Rise up, Anjani Asana. You want to make sure that you have a good amount of distance between that left heel and that right knee. And when you're ready, add that back bend here. Lifting up and back. Hands come to heart center, twist to the left. Allow those hips to sink. Yes, that's it, Laura. And the arms reach back up towards the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, bring hands down to the floor or blocks. Shimmy the left foot forward, straighten the left leg, bring the toes back up towards you. This is half split. Think about drawing the left hip back and the right hip forward. And that pinky toe will sometimes want to point out. So if you can draw that pinky toe in. Okay, this is Marie's favorite. We're going to drop that left pinky toe towards the left and bring the hands over to the left. Blocks can be helpful underneath the hands. For sure. Now flex that left foot if you can. Oh, yes. So you're bringing the toes back towards you. That pinky's going towards the floor. Painful. Maybe a twisted half split. I just kind of gave it my own name, but that's what it feels like. We're going to walk back to center. Bend back into that left knee. This time we'll lift that right leg up. Step the right foot forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach up. Nice. Forward fold, exhale. Lengthen the spine. Right leg steps back. Left foot steps back. Exhale to low plank or the belly. And then up dog or cobra. So either one, we're stretching out the front body. And then down dog, up and back. That right leg will lift up. And this time we'll step the right foot forward, warrior one pose. Reaching the arms up towards the sky. Open up, warrior two. Reverse the warrior. Extended side angle. So that right hand will come to the inside of that right foot. Top arm reaches up and over, allowing those hips to sink. Yes. Now bring that left hand down, wide-legged forward fold. Walk the hands to the middle of the mat. Feet are wide. Take your hands to the outside edges of the feet. Inhale, lengthen, and fold. Inhale, lengthen again. And then exhale, forward fold. So reach your forehead towards the mat. One more time, and inhale as you lengthen forward, collarbone forward. And then exhale, forward fold. We'll place our hands onto the mat. Left hand goes below the forehead. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. Right hand down. Underneath the forehead, left arm up. Again, left hand down. Right arm up. Right hand down. Left arm up. So just adding some beautiful rotation. Last time, left hand down, right arm up, right hand down, and reach that left arm up. Beautiful. With the left hand coming down to the mat, we'll walk our hands to the top of the mat. Step that left foot forward to meet the right. We're back at the top of our mat. Inhale to lengthen. Forward fold. Arms reach high. Take it back down. Lengthen. Let's step our left foot back this time. Right foot meets the left. We're in high plank pose. Exhale to low. Or the belly. Up dog. And then down dog. Nice and down dog pose. We'll start by lifting the left leg up. So a little bit of flow. Warrior one, step the left foot through to the top. Rise up. And way to get settled in, ladies. Warrior two. Open up through the arms. Let that left knee to continue going towards that middle toe. Reverse the warrior. Extended side angle. The hips sink in. If you're finding a hard time having the hips sink, you might need a little bit longer stance. Right arm reaches up and over. Hips sink. Right hand comes down. Walk the hands back to the middle of the mat. Turn your toes forward. This time, take your hands to your hips. Rise all the way up. Nice. A little bit more for the hips, and then I like to do some restore posture. So turn your toes out. For this particular one goddess pose, we're going to come down and just bring our arms to the insides of our legs. Yes. Nice. On the inhale, lengthen forward. On the exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. And twist. Center. And twist. One more time. Center. Twist. Last time to the other side, center, and twist. As you come back to center, straighten your legs. Oh, that feels so good. Wow. Oh, that was very nice. So we're in a wide-legged forward fold position. So I'd like you to, let's see how I want to get into this position here. Drop your knees down to the floor. I know, right? We might have to stagger ourselves in the studio. Frog pose. So with the knees out wide, And the hips going back, what we're doing is we're getting into the hip space. Now you can make this restorative by bringing your blocks underneath your chest or your abdomen. So that way I feel supported, but I'm still getting a nice deep stretch through the hips. The wider the knees are, the more you'll feel it in the hips. You're doing great, Laura. That's it. The key to getting into this pose is to have the knees wide. We won't be holding this as long as necessarily in a yin class, but just enough. You'll love the counter pose to this, I promise. So I'd say about 5 more breaths. Really allowing those hips to sink down and back. I'm even noticing that my knees are slowly widening, just deepening the stretch. So if that happens to you, it's okay, it's normal. And if you're fearful of getting stuck in a pose, I'd be happy to help you out here at the studio. And if I need to come to your house afterwards, live stream, I'm there for you. So for this next particular pose, it's a great counter pose. We're actually going to come all the way forward onto our chest. And then keep your knees wide, touch your toes together. And you're gonna drop your toes towards the floor, but it's not necessarily going to touch. So what we're doing is we're getting a nice stretch through the pubic bone area. Well, I'm glad. If they're touching the ground, I'm thinking, I don't know, they don't necessarily have to touch to get the stretch. So just a couple more breaths here. Nice. As you slowly extend the legs back, we'll press ourselves back into a child's pose so that we're on our mat. That was a little bit of off-roading there. Child's pose. I love it. Simple and delicious. Taking just a few more breaths here. Pressing the hands into the mat, coming up onto your knees. Come all the way up, camel pose. Now here you can place blocks next to your feet. If you need maybe a little bit more height, you can even curl the toes under. Think about drawing the hips forward and lifting the chest and reaching either for your feet, blocks, or just keeping your hands on your lower back. So this right here, Laura, is a beautiful place to be. So just with the hands, if that's available, and think belly button forward, and there's the stretch. And if you put your hands on your lower back, you're going to feel more supported. Yes, that's it. 2 more breaths. And we'll rise up from here. Bring the hands down to the mat. Curl the toes under, down dog. Let's lift that right leg up nice and high. Oh, it feels a little open now. Yes. Now go ahead and turn the right toes to face the right, and then turn the toes down. And just notice, do you feel that external rotation every time you turn the right toes out? And then internal as you turn in. Beautiful. Let's pull the right knee in, step the right foot forward to the top of the mat. We're gonna rise up warrior one pose once again. This time, I'd like you to take your left arm underneath your right arm for eagle arms. Add a back bend. And as you come back forward, come onto the ball of that back foot. You might hop that back foot in just a little bit as you wrap that left leg over the right. Using a block can also be helpful. That's it. Squeeze those inner thighs. Draw the elbows down. And release that left foot down. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Inhale, lengthen. Right leg back. Left leg back. High plank to low. Up dog. Down dog. Left leg lifts. Just point the toes to the left as you flex and then back to center. Just open through that hip. Flexing the foot, toes to the left, toes back to center. Pull the knee in, step it forward to the top of the mat, warrior one. Right arm goes underneath the left, eagle arms. Elbows forward and up. Back bend. Come back to center. Pivot on the back of the foot or the right foot. Step the right foot forward. Eagle. Wrap the right leg around the left. And you'll feel yourself sit a little bit lower. Squeezing into that midline. And release, right foot down. Inhale, arms reach up. Nice breath in, full breath out, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Walk the fingertips over to the right. Slight bend in the right knee as you straighten the left leg. Blocks can be also helpful underneath the hands here. Walk the fingertips back to center and then take it over to the left. Slight bend in the left knee, right leg is straight this time. Coming back to center once again. Lengthen the collarbone forward. Right leg steps back. High plank. This time lower yourself all the way down to your belly. Bring your arms forward. Sphinx. Now, if you'd like to place a block underneath your head for support, you can. You ideally want to get the elbows either underneath the shoulders, so we bring the elbows even farther forward, The less intensity you'll create, the more the elbows go forward. So if it's too much with the elbows underneath the shoulders, just extend those elbows forward. You know, I feel like any back bend is like the counter pose to life. The constant, yeah, you know, the constant bending over, hunching, yes. And then if you want to press your hands into the mat and lift your elbows up off the mat for these last few breaths, you can, or you can stay just where you are. Purpose is not to create tension. And slowly release the elbows down to the floor. We'll press back into tabletop. In tabletop pose, we'll extend that right leg back and then pull the right knee to the right wrist. Pigeon, right foot goes over towards the left. And then you're just gonna reach that left leg back. And I'm gonna show you a variation if needed. So Laura, that right knee comes to the right side of the mat and the foot, yes. And then you sink that left leg back. Oh, yes. That is fantastic. That would be the look on your face. I felt like it's great. Like fire toast for you or the twisted split now? Yeah. Oh, very nice. And if it feels good to come onto your forearms, and it might be today or might not, I definitely want you to get the most out of these postures. And once again, blocks underneath the chest, the head, all of those are great ways to use the block. Even underneath that right sit bone, if you feel like you just need to sit on something. All right, going back to just being. Acknowledging the sensations and the feelings that arise in this pose. And being isn't about pushing away the uncomfortable feelings, but it's being genuine with what comes up. You might even want to drop that left hip just a little bit if you're starting to notice that that right sit bone's sinking. If you're always looking to increase the intensity, aligning the right shin to the top of the mat can absolutely increase that intensity, as well as continuing to extend the collarbone forward. But you want to find a place where it just feels there should be no pain. And let's slowly roll ourselves up. Ooh, we're gonna bring the feet forward. Oh, into a wide-legged forward fold. Oh, I can already feel that right hip feels so different. Just for a breath or two, just reach those arms forward. And then walk the hands over to the right leg. Oh, it feels so nice and warm in the hip space. And then walk the hands over to that left leg. Framing the foot. And as you walk the hands back towards center, slowly rising up, we'll bring the bottoms of the feet together like we did earlier, but we're just gonna add a hamstring stretch. So take your 2-piece fingers around that right big toe and just reach that leg out. You can also do this by grabbing the outside edge of that right foot and extending that leg. Yes, that's it, Sherry. Now shift the weight slightly forward. There's a tendency to roll onto the lower back. You got it, Laura. That looks great. And let's release that right foot down. Side number 2, left hand to big toe or foot. Reach the left leg out. Feels amazing through the back of that leg. Dropping that left shoulder, releasing any tension. I know, right? It'll get you. And we'll release that left foot down. Option here is to do both legs at the same time. You can always do one. Oh, I love the use of the wall. You're a rock star over there, Laura. That's it, Marie. Oh. You laugh while you fall out. It doesn't count as falling out. Totally okay. And rolling back is the same way. That's it. Hold for 3. So much fun for 2. That's it. Way to get back into it. And 1. We're going to cross the ankles, come back forward onto our hands and knees. Tabletop position. And we're going to go into pigeon on the opposite side. So just extend that left leg back. Pull that left knee to the left wrist. The right foot to the right side of the mat. I'm just going to shift the weight back. That's it. And then the more that knee goes out to the left, you'll actually find that there's less stress on the knee. So not so much moving the foot, but moving the knee towards the left side. Yes. And then leaning to your right a little bit. Leaning more to your right. Yes. Yes. Oh, of course. I hope it feels good. Hope it feels good. easing into it. If you're home, you have the benefits of putting pillows and cushions underneath your front torso. And we have just a couple more breaths here. And from here, we'll slowly rise back up. And we'll once again bring that right leg forward to meet the left. Before we recline onto our backs, with the feet forward, you might even place a block between the legs. You'll just lean forward for a modified plow pose. You can place your blocks on your head on blocks. Stretching out the lower back. And slowly rising up from here. Take a block with you as you recline yourself all the way onto your back. Bend your legs. Take a block. If you don't have a block, you can also do a supported bridge pose with your hands and place it underneath your sacrum area. So this is going to be below your lower back. We're just going to relax the arms. Now in this supported bridge pose, if it feels good to extend the legs forward, you can. If it feels good to open up the arms wide. Now with the block underneath, or not, you're just gonna pull the right knee in. Now there's a nice sensation that happens. And Laura, your block might be a little bit too low. You might want it more, a little bit higher. Yep, even more. Even more, even more. Oh yeah, yep, there we go. Oh, we're almost there. Yeah, you're doing great. So with the right knee pulled in and the left leg extended, that block underneath the sacrum is just a nice way to accentuate that stretch. And let's release the right leg forward and let's pull the left knee in towards the chest. Just letting that right leg splay out as well. It doesn't need to be active. Pull both knees in. So we have that block underneath us. So we're feeling a little heightened right now. And then just bring the legs up towards the sky. Oh, this is so yummy. You want to take the legs up and over for a full plow pose, you can. There you go, Marie. Just keep the gaze up as you do. Press the shoulders back. This is so excellent for the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. So to be able to have our feet up into the sky. And we'll slowly come out of plow pose. And we'll extend our feet down to the floor. Be conscientious of the block underneath the lower back. Remove the block. We'll pull both knees in towards the chest. And then take both knees over to the right for a supine twist. Arms open out to the side. That's it. Gaze can look towards your left fingertips or up towards the sky. We'll take those knees up and over to the other side. Couple breaths here, making sure both shoulders are down. And then coming back to center. If it feels good to take a sip of water, you can. Extending the legs forward and the arms down by your side.
beginning to move through your fingers and toes. Awakening the body from a sacred practice. Stretching the arms up and overhead. Rolling over onto our right side. And gently pressing ourselves up into a comfortable seated position. With the eyes turned inward. Okay. Teaching yoga brings me so much joy, but hearing the laughter in class and the giggling brings me even more joy to know that we are all in this together. Whether it's our yoga practice or a journey, we support each other by showing up. So I thank you for that. May each of you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. From my heart to yours, namaste. 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 There's lots of giggly tonight. Oh, Janetta, I'm so glad you made it. I know it was kind of a close call, but I hope this was a nice ending to your day. Excellent. Bye, Janetta. We'll see you again soon.
Will you see us?
Yes, they can see you. Yes. You're right over there in the corner. Oh my gosh, so cute. Thank you, Sherry. Enjoy your day.
You too.
What is your dog's name?
Stevie Nicks.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Good night, Stevie. Thank you, Sherry. Enjoy your day. Thanks for coming.
You too.
So sweet.
You know, did you say wow? I was impressed.